Before we get on to it, if you guys are new to the channel, subscribe and put more MyTEAM content here than anywhere else. We're trying to 287,000 subscribers by the end of the week. So anyway, now let's get on to the main part of the video. So lads, we all know that like this is coming tomorrow. Invincible Shaq. Like, I don't think any of the other cards are really gonna affect anything. Like, I really don't think the other guys in this set are gonna really affect anything, because there are some good cards. Don't get me wrong, there are some good cards. Harden's gonna be a beast. Magic Johnson, if he learns how to run, will be okay. And AK is gonna be a beast, but they're not really gonna affect it, because again, like Magic, look, even if Magic knows how to run, 6'9" is very, very tall for a point guard, and the way the game is this year is like, is he gonna be that much better than running like a Luka or a Jordan? I still don't think he's gonna be better than either of them. Harden might be the most Jordan-esque player not named Jordan, but he's still not going to be the most expensive card in the world, and AK is just going to be another Draymond. But Invincible Shaq is going to be like a unique card, a very, very unique card. So I'm going to talk about what I think Shaq is going to do to the market. Is he going to affect the market? Should you guys sell some of your players? Who should you guys buy? And who in general Shaq is going to affect? Because a card that's this good doesn't just come out and like not affect anything. So like my team right here, this has been my team. I like my team. But with the addition of Shaq at the power forward position, you're going to see very much guys like Ferry becoming obsolete. And I don't just mean that. I mean, like, if you're running, say, a 6'8", 6'7" power forward, they're going to be obsolete. Like, very, very soon. Like, the two big lineups are going to be a thing of the future. Like, it's going to be very difficult. Very, very difficult to run your Ferries. So, like, I'm probably going to go and sell him right now. I just want to check, is the price of Ferry kind of... Like, Ferry becomes a small forward, by the way. Like, it's not like Ferry's not still a demon. He just becomes a small forward. He's no longer, like, a power forward type player. You got to use, like, a 6'11" power forward. And that's just kind of the unfortunate truth about it. Like, man, Ferry's gone cheap. Ferry's a steal at 18k. I'm just putting it out there. Even today, he's a steal at 18k. He's 15.9. Like, man, this is one of the biggest steals in my team. 14k. Still, he doesn't really have a spot in my team anymore. Because, again, like, Jermaine O'Neal's now a power forward. Sigma's going to become a power forward. And that's just kind of one of the interesting things, is that Jack Sigma becomes a power forward. Like, you need these 6'11" power forwards now. That's kind of the way that my team is going. That is kind of the way my team's going. So we're going to start auction on him. Just put up our Sigma for like 13.9, or our Ferry for like 13.9k. Just get him sold. I think we paid like 22k. But we won plenty of games with Ferry. Ferry did a good job. He did a really good job for my team. Anytime I needed him, he's been brilliant. Ferry has been fantastic. It's just, for me personally, I prefer Mikal Bridges. I prefer maybe Rocco. Like, honestly, I don't know who's going to come in. Like, Rocco could come in. Like, I'm very, very tempted to put in Robert Covington as my 2-guard. Off the bench and just go all defense for my bench lineup. But, like, guys like Hakeem. People are going to be saying, oh, guys like Hakeem are going to struggle at center because of Yao Ming. Now Hakeem suddenly becomes a power forward. Like, you're going to be starting to see the double big lineups more than ever, because you used to be able to, for me anyway, when you ran, say, a David Robinson, you could, if someone was running David Robinson, you could always run like you could kind of get away with a Ferry. Now you can't with a Shaq. Shaq's just too big. Someone like a David Robinson is now a perfect power forward. Now he becomes like a real good guy to run at that position. Like, for 90, like, he's not that expensive. Like, if you are planning on just countering Shaq, if you're playing high bracket SPMM and you're seeing a lot of Shaqs, I would spend probably the 80k on a D-Rob. I would just get him in a power forward. Like, that's probably the thing. Like, David Robinson's price might boom up to 90k or so. But guys that are going to really drop in price are those undersized power forwards. So let me just take a look. Dark matter power forwards. Draymond, I think, is going to be fine. I think Draymond is going to be completely fine, purely because Draymond is there's just so many of them. There are just so many Draymonds. Like, guys like Bosch. Bosch becomes a power forward and an undersized one. Blake Griffin becomes a very tough player to run now. Like, it becomes tough to run Blake Griffin. He's just going to get bullied by Shaq. If you're playing high level, Blake Griffin's going to get bullied. See these small forwards that people be playing a power forward like a Larry Bird, you now have to play these guys as small forward. So Kevin Durant, I know some people were running Kevin Durant and Larry Birds as small ball fours. The small ball four is no longer going to exist. So, like, you got to run these... Basically, the way your lineups have to work is you got to run the tall players now down a position. Like, you've got to be running either cones, or if you're running Larry or KD, like tall, small forwards if you're going offensively. Like, you got to play everybody at their smaller position. And it's like we've now gotten to the stage of the year where it's like undersized players are pretty useless. Like guys like Jimmy Butler, Pink Diamond, up to this point, you could maybe find a way to get a use out of him. Nah, he's done. He's done. All these like 6'8" power forwards. Like Bob is an exception just because of the way Bob shoots. Like Bob genuinely is an exception at the power forward position. But like Bob's still gonna get bullied. Bob's still gonna get eaten alive by Shaquille O'Neal. Like you can try Zag. Like some people are zigging, you can try Zag and Bob Nedelicki. But like it's not like Bob is not going to get killed on the other end of the floor by the Shaqs and the D-Robs of the world. Guys like Kawhi will survive because they're that good at the small forward position. And these 6'6", 6'7" small forwards with like unbelievable defensive stats will survive. LeBron becomes a very, very not good card in my team because people all run him a power forward. He's a much better power forward than he's small forward, but now all of a sudden he just can't run that power forward position. He just can't run it. He will extremely struggle at the power forward. So all of these undersized stretch fours are now going to go. Like, with the way the centers work, you can no longer really get away with a 6'11" center in my team. Like, because most good players are going to, even throwing a Shaq at center, it's still Shaq at center, David Robinson at center. Like, I've been really struggling with Sigma. I've been using Akeem. It's just there's no good, big, cheap centers. Kristaps gets bullied. Like, after selling my ferry, like, what's his name doesn't even work. Josh Smith's too little. Like, I'd be probably playing at the power forward position Larry Sanders. Because he can rebound, he's 6'11" with long wingspan. Obviously, I think we'll be getting somebody tomorrow to change that. But, like, coming into my team, like, Sigma's gone to the bench. Probably a power forward. Maybe, actually, no, Sanders probably going to play power forward. But, like, Hakeem suddenly is now my starting center just because I need a big body. Like, Hakeem's still going to get killed by Yao, but he'll get killed less than a Sigma. Jermaine O'Neal's price is going to probably stay up because he's like a super effective card to use again against like a Shaq. Like you're going to need these 6'11" big centers. So like actual power forwards have very little use anymore. These like 6'9" actual guys that are power forwards, unless they can play down a small forward like a Zion, there's almost no use for those. Those guys are going to tank in price. But in general, I don't think that the prices of most cards are going to tank. Because you might say, oh, but like invincible cards are going to tank the price of most cards. I don't think so. I just think cards depreciate in value in normal time. Because there's no real cards, other than Luka and Michael Jordan, there are no real cards where you're like, okay, there are no alternatives. If you want to run, if you're talking about, oh, will a Kobe push the price down of Paul George? Like, no, because there's like 15, 20 cards you can run, the 2 or the 3 that are fine. Like, you honestly can run yourself a Herb Jones, Robert Covington, even competitively. If I was playing competitively and I was running these 4 guys, I wouldn't be overmatched at the guard position. I'd be very much overmatched at the point guard position against Luka and MJ. And now with Shaq and and Yao, I'd be very overmatched at the 5 position. But like the wings position, there's no amount of invincible cards that will change the price of the wings. And then even if they gave us an invincible Magic Johnson, they still wouldn't be better than Luka and MJ. Until we get a card that can compete with Luka and MJ. Luka and MJ are still going to be streets ahead, so it's not going to affect the price really of them. Or even the others, to be honest, because everyone's just going to get Luka or MJ. But yeah, pretty much it. Do I think the market's going to tank? I think for like legit power forwards, stretch 4s, that position is going to be made obsolete due to the Opal Shaq or due to the Invincible Shaq. But other than that, I think in general the prices are going to stay somewhat similar. But I do think a couple of cards. I do think initially when packs come out, cards will tank in price because a bunch of people are going to be selling their cards, trying to buy Shaq, get MT for Shaq in the meantime, in the next couple hours. So yeah, that's pretty much it. That's the video. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.